Welcome to Champ Week here on ESPN presented by SoFi. We are inside Scope Arena, Virginia, for the Women's MEAC Basketball Championship. From the Northern Division, it's the number 1 seed Howard University Bison taking on the number 1 seed from the Southern Division, North Carolina A&T. Jumping alongside my partner, Andrea Lloyd. And Andrea, for the Aggies, they got here because their defense.
They are a defensive-minded team. First and foremost, they are long, they're athletic, they like to disrupt things defensively. Season has been very good because they like to get out and run, create offense out of defense, and we're going to see a lot of this today. And we can talk a lot about defense if we want, but I think a lot of people have come to the arena and are watching today because of offense. And nobody better at the offensive year from the three-point line than Deja Winter. She is electrifying in her shot. 6 threes yesterday in the game, 22 points on 8 of 16 shooting. This is a young lady that's dangerous in the quarter court and even more dangerous in transition. You got to find her.
As for Howard University head coach Ty Grace, she wants the ball in her point guard's hand. Ayanna Warren, everything goes through her.
Yeah, you know, the thing is this is a very young team, and Ayanna Warren, she has a lot riding on her shoulders. Yesterday had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's nothing unusual for her. She is going to have to handle pressure today. As a sophomore on a very, very young team, she needs to perform and have a great game.
Well, due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are not broadcasting the game on-site inside Scope Arena, but we are excited to bring this game to you. Championship game in the MEAC for women's basketball. Howard hasn't been to the big dance in 20 years, looking to end the drought. Last time they were there was 2001 for North Carolina A&T. They were back in 2018, so just a few-year drought. Both these teams are excited with the season that we've had, all the COVID-19 restrictions. Andrea, it's great that we are just looking at the finish line here.
Can you believe it was just a year ago yesterday that we were all crushed by the news that the NCAA was shutting down the tournament? I think there's been a lot of uncertainty this year. I cannot thank all of the teams and schools and medical professionals and everybody around the United States that has done a terrific job, I think, of getting people on the court, keeping people safe, getting games on TV. We're all pretty happy just to be here today and be playing in a championship game.
We are getting ready for the tip. Our officials today, Tony Patillo, Jackson, Edward Matthews.
This will be an interesting game for one reason, especially the North and South was split up this year. So these two teams haven't faced each other this year. So these are the top teams to the divisions. A little bit of rivalry here going on, a lot of great storylines, and a lot of great players that we're going to see today.
And a lot of great hair. Okay, Anjanae Hutton tipping it off for Howard with the yellow hair. North Carolina A&T, they win the tip, missing the opening layup. Howard corrals the rebound. That's Jayla Thornton.
Jayla Thornton, known as the offensive production for Howard this year. She only had a couple of points yesterday, 1 field goal. They're looking for good production from her today.
Free ball off the mark by Kaya Creek. She is the quiet freshman. She lets her game speak for her.
A lot of young players on the floor to both teams, and I think you could use the word quiet in a lot of cases.
North Carolina A&T wearing the yellow. Howard University in the blue.
5 on the shot clock.
Skip pass, cross court. Tucker off the mark. Still looking for our opening bucket here.
That's really nice defense right there by Howard.
As Jayla Thornton, she's the sharpshooter, and that's what Howard wants to see. Got the 3 ball going early.
Well, and Howard also pick up after made baskets. They'll go to a full court press or 3/4 court press. They want to disrupt defensively as well. As you see the help side defense from Ayanna Warren right there. Here's what you see from Jayla Thornton. Such a tremendous spot-up shooter. She has unlimited range out there. Had a cold day yesterday in the game. Hit only 1 3-pointer, but she is a dangerous athlete.
Whoa! Where did that one come from? Jayla Thornton. That's from the parking lot.
Yeah. you have to believe the coaching staff talked to Jayla Thornton about getting shots up and being consistent scorer throughout the game.
And North Carolina A&T finally gets on the board. That's Sean Kelly Dark. She's the freshman point guard. She's the one who really gets things going for the Aggies, gets the transition. She's the one who can get to the rim.
Yeah, she's the one that also pushes tempo, but everybody on this team will rebound and run the basketball for the Aggies. They like to push.
You hear that Aggies bench. They're trying to turn it up on the defensive end here. 7 seconds on the shot clock for Howard. That runner is off the mark. Here comes North Carolina A&T.
See how quickly Deja Winter picked up out there on the perimeter.
Jayla Jones pack. Nice move inside. The Seton Hall transfer. As we look at the starting five for Howard, Hutton, War Creek, Thornton, and Fort Davis, the 5'11 sophomore.
Yeah, 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 1 senior for that Howard team.
Good sign for Howard. That's 3 three-pointers knocked down already. And we look at the starters for the Aggies. It's Sean Kelly Darks, Tucker, Winter, Scott, and Jones Pack. 6'3 senior on the inside.
Yeah, and if you look at Scott right there, there's nothing by her name, but she is a graduate transfer, came in this year and has really added to the North Carolina A&T team tremendously.
That's head coach for Howard, Ty Grace. She is in her 6th season at the helm. She said she's so grateful for the discipline her team has had this season with everything that they've had to deal with, the COVID, and all the distractions living in Washington, D.C. I mean, she admitted, there's parties still going on in our city, but our girls so good, and they've held each other accountable, and they've wanted to get this season in, so they've kept distant from everyone else, and they've been focusing on school and basketball.
And things really started to come together for Ty Grace's team, I think, after a couple of pauses that they were on, and the team, they were trying to gel. They were looking to find ways to become just a better team. You know what it takes. You have to communicate. You have to care about each other. It's X's and O's, and that all really came together in December. This team has really played well since then.
Howard with the early 9-4. They've been shooting well from the outside. That shot off the mark. And this is what North Carolina A&T wants to do. They're going to look to run in transition. Sean Kelly Darks is off the mark. Rebound.
Well, for Howard, they're not afraid to push tempo either. And there again, you see Thornton taking a shot. Wouldn't be a shot I would be allowed to have taken back in my day, but she definitely has the green light. These teams are both very, very long, and they have a lot of players at 5'11", 6 feet, a couple bigs on the interior that can get it done.
As Jayla Jones Pack in the win over Morgan State in the last round, she had 11 points, 10 rebounds, but she is prone to get into foul trouble. The head coach to North Carolina A&T mentions it to her. You got to be mindful of the fouls. Three-pointer off the mark by Creek. Both teams coming out gunning. You could basically turn the shot clock off in this game, Andrew. It doesn't even matter.
Well, and both teams are actually playing pretty good defense. I've watched a couple of times. I was mentioning that these players are long. They're interchangeable. A lot of players will switch defensively on plays. So some pretty good defense out there. But as soon as one team gets the ball, they're pushed.
Thornton, she comes up pulling. She doesn't hit the rim on that one. And there's a steal. Oh, I hate that rule.
That is nuts. Yeah.
There's a fast break, open layup for North Carolina A&T. Yes, the shot clock violation buzzer went off, but the possession was over.
Yeah, I think the officials should have just let it play right there. A poor by Hutton on that cross-court pass.
There's a head coach from North Carolina A&T, Terrell Robinson, said this team found their identity the second game of the season versus Elon. He said, you know what? Not that good in half court. In fact, he said we're awful in half court. He said what we do best and what we found out in that game, we defend, and once we go in transition, that's our identity.
Well, what's interesting is I don't know that they had any any trouble knowing what their identity was, but he recognized what their identity was and allowed them to do it.
Three ball on the way by Kennedy Boyd. It's nice to know it's the opposite way. Usually you've got a coach who's trying to rein you in and make sure you get in your half-court sets. And Coach Robinson, he recognized with his player personnel, he said, no, that's not our strength.
Yeah, we'll be willing to understand that you're going to give some turnovers up. You're going to make some mistakes as we see a tremendous drive. One-on-one play by Anjanae Hutton, the freshman. But you got to let your players play.
Back-to-back three balls off the mark by Boyd. And Howard with an early 11-6 lead. A trip to the big dance on the line. We'll be back after this break.
Sports, America runs on Duncan.
Welcome back to Arena here in Norfolk, Virginia. The MEAC Women's Basketball Championship on the line. Howard with an early 11-6 lead. John Schriffen alongside my partner, Andrea Lloyd. And Andrea, for the Bison, it's been the senior, Thornton, taking care of the young guns.
Yeah, she has 6 already in the game today, but it's been like this all year long. One senior on this team and 10 players that are underclassmen. There are 2 in there that have been injured in and out with Marsh and Howell through the year. But look at the production the fresh kids have brought. 77% of the points are scored by freshmen or sophomores. 83% of the rebounds are freshmen or sophomores.
Well, something I noticed interesting early on, Howard got here by beating Norfolk State. In that game, they went 3 of 17. Early on in this game, they're already 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. So a good sign early on shooting from downtown for Howard.
Yeah, Howard really struggled in the game yesterday. It was not a pretty game. They didn't shoot the ball. They didn't take care of it. This is not good news for North A&T. They do not want Howard getting hot. One of their keys for today's games was keeping Thornton cold, keeping her in the zone she was in yesterday, and that's not where she's at in the first 5 minutes.
Ziana Warren, she's going to have the ball in her hands most of the game. She's the distributor. Oh, but that one, the head of Brooklyn Fort Davis. Turnover goes to North Carolina A&T.
And with your young players like that, Warren at the point guard, you know she's going to make some mistakes. She does so many great out there on the floor for you, but she does have the trust of her coach, Ty Grace. Saying a lot for a sophomore at the point guard position.
Shot clock down to 7, and a good defensive possession by the Bison, forcing the turnover. That's the 3rd turnover of the game for the Aggies.
Oh, the Aggies need to be more aggressive. They need to put the ball on the floor, penetrate into those gaps. Right now, Howard is doing a nice job of just spreading them out, not giving them outside shots.
We spoke with the head coach of North Carolina A&T, Terrell Robinson. He said he wasn't sure what kind of defense he was going to come out because there's so many ways you can defend this Howard team. Haven't been able to figure out just yet. Look at that. Warren just knifing through the defense. That one looked easy.
Warren is very assertive with basketball. She is very confident. Wasn't the case early in the season. Wasn't as confident as she is now. But midway through the season, gained confidence. And at 5'3", she might be pushing it for 5'3". I don't know about that. She's afraid to go inside among the trees.
You got to wonder where's the help defense for North Carolina A&T. They break the press easily. The left hand, that's Jasmine Walton.
And Walton has been a starter throughout the season. Come off the bench here in the last 2 games, yesterday and today. And coach really wants to see that from her. Attack the basket, break the press, make good plays.
7-point lead for Howard.
8 on the shot clock.
Trying to break down the D with a scoop shot. Oh my goodness, what a finish. North Carolina A&T wasting no time. You see how quickly they down the court, and it looks like an over-the-back call. A foul on the Aggies.
Here's Warren again, just making something out of nothing. Really no offensive set was working right there, and she just recognizes the shot clock's going down. Takes it to the rim again, and as you said, where's the help side?
The foul was on Jada Smith for North Carolina A&T. So Howard, their biggest lead of the ball game, they are up 9 right now.
We talked about the defense.
Excuse me, it's
the Aggies.
I apologize.
It's math. It's all right. What was your major? It wasn't math, right?
It was. I was.
I certainly would. This is where, what I was going to say is this is where the Aggies really need to buckle down defensively and make their defense be a statement out there. I think they've come out flat defensively. Howard's been able to knock down shots. They've gotten looks. Obviously, Jayla Thornton's hit some big shots, but for a team that averages or allows teams to only score about 56, 57 points a game, they just really need to buckle down.
Well, they just got a turnover there on a tie-up. Reball the other way is off the mark by Winters. And here's the issue right now for North Carolina A&T. They come out with a great defensive position, and then they put up a quick three, and it's one and done, Howard ball.
I think getting multiple opportunities is important for North Carolina A&T. When you're going to put up a shot in transition, and we talk about that being their DNA, it's so tough. You've got to have people follow down the floor.
Howard trying to get the offensive rebound. Scrum on the floor. Possession arrow is going to go to Howard.
Here you see that shot put up, and just a nice job of crashing. We talk about effort, and Jayla Jones' backpack getting in there on the offensive boards.
And on that floater, Warren is going to get fouled, so she will go to the line for 2. It is amazing how much chaos she creates at 5'3". I mean, she can just find her way into the lane.
Well, and she's in a unique category. She's one of a handful of players really nationally that averages over 5 assists a game and also averages over 5 free throw attempts a game. So what does that tell you? You have a point guard that is offensive minded and can distribute the basketball. It's 5'3" and gets it done.
Calmly knocks down free throws, the first free throws of the ball game. And Howard now with their largest lead of the ball game at 9. 1:20 to play, first quarter.
See Howard switching defense. Nice job on the screen and roll offensively for North Carolina A&T.
Jayla Jones pack on the receiving end of that to finish it off. 7-point game as we're under a minute to play here in this first quarter.
Yeah, Howard switches almost every screen on the basketball or every opportunity they have. The Aggies will have chances to get shots like that if they're looking for them.
Warren working the pick and roll game, and there's a block. Jayla pack. Get out of here with that.
A block and a little trash talk.
This is a championship game. I like this intensity.
Yeah, well, we were just asking where is the help side, where's the defender to protect the rim, and that's the person right there that needs to do it at 6'3".
Coming off the screen, Destiny Howell looking so smooth with the jumper. About a 7-8 second differential between shot clock and game clock. Three-pointer on the way by Shannon Scott. And shot clock is now turned off for Howard. They can hold for the final shot here in the quarter.
Yeah, Howard doing a great job of controlling tempo. One and done almost every time down for North Carolina A&T, and then just making them work defensively in the quarter court.
Warren going to work with the crossover. Up and under, back iron, and that's how the first quarter is going to end. 10-4 run to end the quarter by Howard as they take a 19-10 lead. championship game here in Norfolk, Virginia. Winner goes to the big dance. Quarter coming up after the break.
Has a detachable keyboard. Then there's the price. Yeah.
John Schriffen alongside Andrea Lloyd. And Andrea, for North Carolina A&T, they rank first in the MEAC in a lot of categories. And in the nation, they're up there.
Yeah, it's remarkable, the numbers they show nationally. They force turnovers. Their defense, field goal percentage defense is right up there at 4th. Steals per game, 4th. Offensive rebounds, 3rd nationally. Here's the numbers that count, though, today. Right now, 0 steals, 0 second chance points, and 0 points off of turnovers. And I think that's the thing that needs to change right now for North Carolina A&T is they need to have their defense be impactful. It needs to be more disruptive.
Another stat that jumped out at me, they were 8 of 16 in their win over Morgan State in the semis from downtown. Tonight, they're 0 of 6, still looking for their first long ball.
I think Howard's doing a really nice job of not allowing Winters to get easy touches on the perimeter. She had one look in transition, missed that look, but it hasn't been a wide open day for her like it was yesterday.
Arcs off the mark. North Carolina A&T is now 0 of 7 from beyond the arc. It's the start of quarter number 2. Hutton off the mark. Can't miss her with that pink hair.
Yeah, she can make that shot too. She's dangerous at the high post. Very, very versatile, even though she's young.
There's a wide open look, but misses everything. Inside, cleaning up is Deja Winters. And all of North Carolina A&T's points have come from the paint.
I'll tell you what, you got to give it to Winters, who's normally an outside shooter, goes to the offensive boards here. We talked about the fact that the Aggies hadn't had an offensive rebound yet, gets that offensive rebound. That's just a sign of a leader and a mature player of figuring out ways to make something work when what you usually do isn't working.
Big three-point play for the Aggies. Lead is at 6. 19-13, Howard on top here as we start the second quarter.
North Carolina A&T continues to play this man-to-man defense. They'll help. They'll switch a lot of things with players, but Coach Robinson talked about mixing it up, and we haven't seen that yet.
Spin move inside, but it's stolen away by Jasmine Walton on the fast break, and that's what North Carolina A&T is looking to do. You get a steal on one end, and then on the other side, Shannon Scott finishes off the break.
Yeah, taking advantage of those steals, those offensive rebounds, and look, 5 points immediately.
What did Terrell Robinson say to his squad in the break? Because they have come out on fire here in the second quarter.
Well, he has a lot of options of players that can come in off the bench, and I think he can sub some people in if people aren't getting the job done. Walton has come in and done a nice job distributing the basketball that last play. Let's see how they do executing in the quarter court.
So this is not their strength here in this half court. They want to get out and run in transition. Howard is settling in on D. Shot clock down to 6. Get out of here. Hutton with the pink hair waving through the air says, get that out of the paint.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Hutton is she's just 6 feet tall, but she plays so much bigger. Great job on a help side defense right there. Gives a little bit of an extra long look after blocking that shot, just to make a statement.
Well, Jones Pack was talking a little bit after her block earlier, so it's only fair that Howard comes back with a little stare down.
Yeah, a little bit of an
shot clock, and that's going to be a turnover. Howard ball.
Yeah, I was just going to say a little bit of an intriguing matchup, really, with the freshman Hutton on the inside at 6 feet tall, playing the 5 position, and then Jayla Jones-Pack, the senior transfer, so 5th year, number 31 in yellow, playing on the inside.
So Yana Warren goes to the bench. It'll be Kanaya Harris running the point for the Bison. Thornton with a mid-range pull-up. Offensive rebound to Howard, though. Left-hand shot off the mark. and North Carolina A&T clears it out. So Howard, 0 for 5 shooting in this quarter, has not scored a point, and North Carolina A&T is coming back in this game. It's Shannon Scott. Did she take a shot to the lip? Because it looked like she drew some blood there.
Yeah, I think just right across the face as Jayla Thornton goes to block the shot. Really nice job by Shannon Scott, who's just been a tremendous addition to the Aggie team this season. She's a tremendous athlete. Came in and, I would say, made an argument to be player of the year in the MEAC. Didn't get it.
Well, not just an argument. Head coach Terrell Robinson said she was robbed of player of the year. He did not hold back words, and he said she now has a chip on her shoulder because she felt like that award was hers.
Well, and that's another interesting storyline today is Jayla Thornton, who just handed the ball off right there, did get player of the year. So head-to-head today.
But then they're going to call the foul on Scott as North Carolina A&T is trying to turn up the pressure. That's her first foul. You can see she's still sucking on that lip as she took that shot on that last possession.
Yeah, I don't mind that foul right there. I just feel like it's really important that Terrell Robinson's team gets up in the grill of the Howard Bison players and pressures them a lot more. Warren is really their only true ball handler. Now you see Hutton coming down and kind of relieving the pressure.
Strong take to the bucket by Hutton, and she's going to get fouled by Jayla Jones-Pack. You know, as Howard has gone cold here, they're still looking for their first points in the second quarter. It's Hutton who's been more aggressive.
Yeah, well, this is Angela Hutton. What she does really, really well, I think, is just her versatility adds another element to this Bison team. She can play inside, great in the trap situation, a talented freshman that's just really surprised people this year.
Hutton goes 1 of 2 from the line, and Howard lead is at 4. 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. MEAC championship on the line. Into the low post, and that's Jones-Pack making it look easy. North Carolina A&T on an 8-1 run here.
And you can hear the energy in the building, and a steal.
Turnover, Aggies to the bucket, layup. Jasmine Walton. You could see her scream in the defender's face after laying that one in.
Well, and this is where Howard really struggles, I think, with the youth. We talked about those players that get so many minutes for the Bison. You need somebody out there right now that's going to calm you down.
3 ball off the mark by Harris, and Howard is ice cold in the second quarter.
A lot of that due right now to North Carolina A&T's stifling defense here the last couple of minutes. They have turned up the heat, as you mentioned. Ty Grace is going to have to figure out a way to break that pressure.
Howard 0 of 6 field goals this quarter. And clearly you could see head coach Terrell Robinson from North Carolina A&T, he made some adjustments because the second quarter, it's been basically a different ballgame. But Howard has some pressure of their own. Chrislyn Marsh forces the turnover. And that one's going to go off of Winters.
Yeah, Howard has as a staple in their repertoire that three-quarter court trap zone defense, and they're not afraid to pressure this team that likes to push the ball. Kick.
Kick ball on Darks. So where's the offense going to come from? Because clearly the Bison are struggling for someone to step up here in the second quarter.
I think it's so important that Warren keeps her composure out there right now offensively. She has to go get the basketball, handle the pressure one-on-one defensively, recognize the shot clock. As we mentioned in the open, a lot riding on her shoulders.
Warren working in front of the Aggies bench. This is Hutton going to work. There's a kick out to Destiny Howell off the mark. And Howard still looking for their first field goal of this quarter, 0 of 7. And you heard the ref there say 2 hands on Ayanna Warren. She's going to get called on the foul.
Yeah, can't put your hands on a ball handler facing the basket. Just trying to slow her down a little bit right now.
So that's the second foul on Warren. And coming back into the game is Shannon Scott. We are all tied at 20. Howard, their largest lead of the ball game was 9 in that first quarter. But second quarter, it has been all A&T. Shannon, Scott, and 1.
It just seems like North Carolina A&T has gotten away from kind of looking like a 3-point shooting team, and they've decided to go inside and be physical and get on the boards. Shannon Scott a few minutes ago puts the ball on the floor, gets to the rim, this time flies in for a rebound. 6 feet tall. She has that versatility to play inside out. And they just look so much more comfortable out there right now. North Carolina A&T has done a really nice job, I think, after that first quarter of settling in and settling down.
North Carolina A&T with their first lead of the ball game, 23-20. And finally, the drought is over for Howard as Warren ends it.
Yeah, we put the pressure on her just a moment ago when we were calling out her name, saying that Warren really needed to step up, but that was a huge shot.
Howard had a 9-point lead, and now North Carolina A&T came roaring back. This is shaping up to be a good one. North Carolina A&T with a 1-point lead here in the second quarter.
On the app, America runs on Duncan.
Welcome back to the MEAC Championship game. John Schriffen alongside Andrea Lloyd. And Andrea, for North Carolina A&T, they depend on active hands. Look how many players they have with steals per game. This is something.
Yeah, they make a living at being disruptive at the defensive end. And when you have athletes that are tall, that buy into your defense and have length and are active, 4 players, look at this, 4 players with this kind of averages defensively. Again, those quick hands, as we see Walton with a steal and a putback, such a big part of their game. All 4 of those players in the top 200 nationally for steals in the United States for the NCAAs. It's pretty remarkable to have 2 players average two steals a game, let alone 4.
So North Carolina A&T currently on a 13-3 run. What did you see was the change in this game? Because Howard had a 9-point lead, but then things just shifted.
Yeah, I just think that they turned the heat up defensively, and that made the big change. And then the other thing is they have their leaders, Shannon Scott, Winters, who are willing to just go to the offensive boards and find out different ways to score rather than just taking a jumper on the outside. I think they've committed to that, the fact that they were going to play defense and be more disruptive. That was the big key.
Yeah, this 13-3 run has all been this entire second quarter, and it's looked like a different ball game. Howard is trying to change things up with this full court press, but the Aggies breaking it easily here. 23-22. 4:45 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, sorry about that, John, but it's all that gritty stuff. A lot of times players kind of want things to be pretty, and sometimes when a championship game like this, you just have to get down and dirty and just get gritty and do the tough things.
Pull-up jumper, front iron, no good, and Howard looks like they want to get out on the break here. Warren with a drop-back pass, and it's Jayla Thornton for 3. And that's what Howard did to open up the big lead early on. They've got to knock down some more outside shots.
And it's been the first time that Jayla Thornton has knocked down a shot in a while. I think we need to be calling Howard her name a little more often. Tough pass.
Aggies dive to the rim, but Howard deflects it out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end of the floor with 11 seconds on the shot clock. So Kaya Creek comes back into the game for Howard. Destiny Hall will get a breather. Wide open three. And those are the shots North Carolina A&T has to knock down.
They are, but another offensive rebound. Remember early we were talking about the fact that the Aggies didn't have any offensive rebounds. That has changed.
6 offensive rebounds this ball game. There's a elbow jumper off the mark. So many of those threes we saw go down in the first quarter were quick, early possession threes for Howard. And it seems like once they're settling into their offense, that's when North Carolina A&T defense is also getting set.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think Howard's figured out a way to get easy baskets necessarily against the Aggies here today. The shots that they've had seem to have been really contested. It's either Warren getting to the basket, somebody shooting a contested shot, Jayla Thornton way out on the perimeter, knocking down a big three.
So with 5 Howard fouls, the Aggies will go to the line off that last foul by Creek. As Scott Conley knocks down the first.
Good second quarter by Shannon Scott. You know, we talked to Terrell Robinson yesterday, and he said, well, I sort of got into her a little bit yesterday. She didn't play as well as I think she should have played, and we really need her to play well if we're going to win a championship.
He's the kind of coach that doesn't mess around. He also told us that he felt like some of his players on his team were just not ready. So he shortened his bench, and he said, look, if you're not going to come out ready to play in a championship atmosphere like this, you're not going to get on the court.
Yeah, he's not afraid to pull a player no matter what your numbers are or your name is to have you sit if you're not doing the right thing.
Deja Winters from the corner. That's a three.
Yeah, really good offensive set the last time down with Winters getting a look at the three-point shot and knocking it down. This is what she does best, just a little bit of a defensive miscommunication. She doesn't need much time to get it off. And then see that the defense, stepping up defensively, not allowing Warren to catch the basketball, and a turnover ensues because Hutton's bringing the ball up the floor.
That was North Carolina A&T's first three-point made this game. They are 1 for 10 from beyond the arc. Now 1 for 11. Inside to Hutton, back to the basket, turns, and she is denied on the inside. Here comes the transition by the Aggies. That's a quick three by Winters off the mark.
Yeah, Howard lucky that possession. I thought Howard got back slowly on defense, gave an open look up to the Aggies. And to the wrong person. You do not want to allow Deja Winters to get an open look.
In this quarter, North Carolina A&T leads 18-6. They have claimed a 3-point lead here in this ball game. Three ball offline by Creek. And the Aggies get the ball back.
Howard just really struggling on their offensive sets. I don't really see them getting a lot of movement, and they're also not able to break the defense down one-on-one. The only one that's had any luck with that really has been Warren as the shot clock's running down.
So if you're head coach for Howard, Ty Grace, what do you do to change things up offensively?
Well, I think you have to think about not allowing the Aggies to get second chance points. You got to keep yourself in it by doing the little things and not having breakdowns defensively. And then hopefully just getting the ball down the floor, looking to Thornton, who's got a little bit more experience to handle the basketball a little bit more, get her some looks. You just have to have your young players really step up and play beyond their years.
Just making it look easy. Jasmine Walton with the left hand. Nobody even came close to her.
Yeah, that's what Jasmine Walton does best. She will knock down some shots on the perimeter, but it's not the thing that Coach Robinson wants to see from her. He wants to see her put the ball on the deck, get to the rim. That's why she was third team all-conference.
5-point lead, biggest lead of the ball game for North Carolina A&T. Howard trying to answer, and there's a corner shot by Brooklyn Fort Davis. Bring the lead back to 3. Under a minute to play here at Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia, and Howard has a steal. They don't have numbers, so they're going to pull the ball back out, and another turnover. North Carolina A&T just creating so much havoc And Howard is forced to foul. That's Michaela Minute getting back on defense.
Coach Robinson for the Aggies, when we talked about, hey, what are your keys to the game for tomorrow? One of the first things he talked about is just putting a lot of pressure on their one ball handler, which is Warren. And you can see when she doesn't have the ball in her hands, how active this Aggie defense can be and really be disruptive, getting steals. I think it's just frustrating right now for Howard to not be able to find any rhythm.
Well, this was certainly the best quarter so far from North Carolina A&T. They have 3 steals in the ball game. All of them came in this quarter. Now it looks like they got an offensive rebound on that missed free throw. Look at Scott on the floor.
Yeah, playing very, very hard here. Took her coach's words to heart.
So Howard will get the ball on the tie-up. 25 seconds remaining. Shot clock is off. You can see North Carolina A&T trying to get the ball out of Warren's hands. She's got it now. 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Warren, what's she gonna do? Breaking down the defense. Gets into the lane with a jump with a shot. No good. And North Carolina A&T will head into the half up 31-27. They just dominated that second quarter.
Yeah, tale of 2 quarters really for Howard. They were tremendous in the first quarter, shot the ball well. North Carolina stormed back, using their defense to create offense and hitting the offensive boards.
A trip to the big dance is on the line. North Carolina A&T with a 4-point lead at the half.
We're not done.
Well, for Howard, it was a tremendous first quarter, all because of Jayla Thornton, who came out smoking hot, knocked down 3 3-pointers. This is a young lady that has unlimited range. They really need her scoring. And she was hot, but the second quarter was a different story. Defense heated up, but also the inside game for North Carolina A&T. Jayla Jones-Pack got going on the inside, used that big frame of hers at 6'3". She's the biggest player out there on the floor, and she became a rim protector. Inside with 2 huge blocks. A big part of the defense really has been the blocks and the steals for North Carolina A&T. That's what changed the face of the game for them in that second quarter.
You look at the 3-point shooting numbers. Howard is 4 of 11, but how about this stat? In their first 5 possessions of the ball game, Howard was 3 of 4 from 3. Since then, 1 of 7. That's allowed North Carolina A&T to have that phenomenal second quarter, and now Howard has to come back from behind.
You know, the interesting thing about those stats is I think they're very deceptive, because you look at the first quarter for Howard and they knocked down a bunch of shots. The second quarter, they made only 3 field goals. They just struggled to really handle the pressure of the Aggies in that quarter, to have any semblance of offense. They were sort of, the shot clock would be running down and they try to make something happen. I'm sure that was talked about at halftime, and Ty Grace has some adjustments to make here in the second half.
Well, we saw the big adjustment in that second quarter by North Carolina A&T. Very interested to see how Howard responds in this third quarter. We are getting ready for the start of the third. 1 half of basketball to play to crown a champ. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. North Carolina A&T head coach Terrell Robinson with some last-minute instructions for his girls as they get ready for the start of the third quarter. Aggies, points in the paint, 22 points. They have just lived in the paint.
Yeah, mostly coming in transition, and then that second quarter, Jones-Pack went to work on the interior, and gotta love that Walton's coming off the bench and making an impact. You see the energy right there. I was impressed with the offensive rebounding, though, and it wasn't just Scott. Scott, Winters, Tucker, Walton, all of them hit the offensive boards for a total of 6 offensive rebounds. The aggressiveness of North Carolina A&T is what made the difference in that second quarter. Expect to see that here in the second half.
Aggies start with the possession of the ball here in this third quarter. Howard won the first quarter. North Carolina A&T won the second quarter.
A good defensive stop. Yeah, good defensive stop and start for Howard there in the quarter court. See how they do offensively here against this man-to-man defense, if they can be a little more effective.
Taking the bump and getting the shot off is Kaya Creek, and she's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Kaya Creek had a couple of nice looks, I thought, in the first half, but she's somebody that, as a freshman, that, again, has a lot on her shoulders, needs to step up and make some plays. I also like to see Fort Davis make some plays. Both of those players, 5'10", 5'11", they can play inside out. Ty Grace needs some offensive.
Head coach Ty Grace, she was funny in talking about her freshman Kaya Creek. She said, you know, she's got that kind of game where it's just that old school YMCA pickup where nothing flashy, but she just finds a way to get it done.
She actually said she's got that old man's game, and what she said was, it's like the old man that brings his ball to the park to play pickup ball, and you think, yeah, he's not got anything, and he goes home and he's beat everybody. And that's how she is. She just gets it done.
There's a steal by Anjanae Hutton.
Pink hair flying.
On the sideline.
Love the activity of this freshman Hutton. I think she's been all over the place. She's just scratched the surface of her talent thus far.
Aggies once again in the paint. That's Jayla Jones-Pack, and Howard really has not had an answer for her today.
Yeah, 5 for 5 from the field. She has been very, very good.
But Hutton with the answer. She has really come out aggressive. We saw her aggressive in that second quarter when Howard kind of went into a lull, and now you see the start of the third. She's looking for a shot again.
I think it's important that she stay involved offensively, and we apologize for not having the score up on right now. It's 33-30 as we speak, but having your freshmen come out and just surprise people like that, play this well in the tournament, is very important.
Traveling violation called against Amaya Tucker. So Howard down by 3, 33-30 here in this third quarter. Apologize for the graphics. We will get you the score on the bottom of your screen momentarily.
Things don't always work out perfectly when you're working remotely. This is what the teams have gone through all year long. It just hasn't been perfect.
Warren gets into the paint and the kick out, but she was in there deep, so that's going to be a block. Warren, she went down hard.
Well, he talked about how physical this young lady is, willing to go to the paint and take contact at any time. And at 5'3", you can just see she glances on her leg and falls. Really looks like she's in pain.
Wow, we hope she's going to be okay. She is going to try to gut this one out. You know, she is just so important to this Howard squad, and they're going to sub her out and have some medical attention and take a look at her. We certainly hope she's okay and she can come back into this ballgame.
You see Harris come back in.
Harris will come in wearing the face mask. She'll be the one running the point now for the Bison. Davis double teamed Hutton, and she traveled.
Yeah, and that is going to be the challenge right now with Warren out of the game and Harris in the game. Harris is very reliable, I think, at the point guard position, but she just isn't the same athlete that Warren is. When you're going up against defense like this, it's going to be so important to be able to control your team.
That's a nice looking three ball by Jayla Thornton, and the ball game is tied. Once again, we apologize for the graphics. 33-33 all here in this third quarter.
Well, just keep your eyes on Hutton, number 00 in blue with the pink hair. You can't miss the pink hair, but watch how hard she is working on the interior as the ball is up at the top of the key.
7:24 on the clock, all tied at 33, and I think the refs just called an offensive foul on the point guard Harris.
Yeah, correct. And again, that's just Harris isn't quite as quick as Warren out there, and a little bit less experience at the point guard position. Probably pushed off a little bit.
That is 4 turnovers in this quarter by North Carolina A&T, coming out here really sloppy from the halftime break.
And you have to love how Howard is just toughing it out here. It hasn't been pretty at times, but they're hanging in there.
There's the drive and kick by Howard off the mark is Thornton. Under 7 minutes to play here in this third quarter, and what a take to the bucket. Kennedy Boyd with a strong move.
The Aggies just keep coming at you in the full court situation.
Hutton tries to answer. She is blocked, so that one's going to stay here. And Jones-Pack, she has just really been a force on both ends.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch her on the interior really go to work. I mean, the ball spent a lot of time on the exterior, so you don't see it in the paint very much, but she's been the enforcer in there.
She's 5 for 5 from the field and has 3 blocks. She just tipped that ball to her teammate. And now North Carolina A&T is out in transition, but it is blocked by Howard. Kaya Creek, the old man basketball game, always getting it done.
Just 2 good post players on the interior, and also Kaya Creek, as you mentioned, just gets it done.
I don't know. She showed a lot of athleticism there. I didn't see any old man basketball game. She could get up.
Deceptive, right? That's the way the
Take
old
her
guys.
on my pickup squad any day. Corner knockdown shot by Brooklyn Fort Davis, and Howard starting to get in a rhythm offensively.
Yeah, Fort Davis
Tied
is
up again at 35.
Yeah, Fort Davis has got to hit those 15-foot jumpers, and really for Howard right now, they've got to get back in transition defense, because the Aggies, even though baskets are being made by the Bison, they are pushing tempo and looking for some easy ones.
Hutton bails out her teammate. There's a deep 3 by Creek. This game is back and forth, going up and down the court, and Shannon Scott delivers.
Yeah, really nice, pretty move right there, a little Euro step through. But we just spoke about the fact that the Aggies are pushing tempo, and that's a great example of Howard needing to get back in transition defense.
This pace of play, who does it favor?
You know, I think both teams have some depth right now. I'm concerned about Warren not being in the game for Howard. So I think it favors North Carolina A&T because it's a style they like to play.
Aggies are pushing things up to the big center, Jayla Jones-Pack. She is perfect from the floor, and Pack's got 12.
Yeah, a little bit of chaos going out there, but the Aggies look very, very comfortable in the chaos.
4-point lead for North Carolina A&T, and now the defense comes up with a turnover. And we'll have a timeout on the floor. Aggies with a 4-point lead here in the third quarter. Who's taking home the title? We'll be right back.
It doesn't start for like a week.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's, official breakfast of March Madness.
Shannon Scott, the Georgia Tech transfer, she's making an impact here on this North Carolina A&T team.
Yeah, she is one of several transfers that have come in for Terrell Robinson over the last couple of years, and this year, what a gift to have this young lady on the floor. Her production has been, well, measurable because you've seen her stats, but you look at the things she's done today, and I've really been impressed with her heart out there on the floor. I think she's done a tremendous job of answering the call after Coach got on her yesterday, making plays happen, hitting the offensive boards, making the case that maybe she should have been Player of the Year.
She also took a shot to the lip earlier and just kind of brushed it off, and she just kept going to the hole. You know, sometimes when players go to the hole and they take a shot to the face, they get a little scared. Didn't bother her.
Come on. Do you know what kind of family she grew up in? She probably took shots to the face every day out in the yard or in the driveway playing whatever games they were playing. Her dad, Patrick Scott, an NFL lineman for years. Her mom, an athlete. Siblings. A family of competitors.
Good swing pass. Scott with the nice pass over to Deja Winters. And North Carolina A&T has opened up a 7-point lead here with 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And Warren back in the game for Howard. That's a good sign.
Howard needed that answer to end this run. Aggies on a 7-0 run right now. Scott picks up her dribble. They find inside Jones-Pack, and there's been no answer. She averages 7.5 a game. Today, she's got 14.
Just miscommunications in transition defense, and really North Carolina A&T working harder in transition in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
This matches the largest lead of the game for A&T. 9-0 run continues. Aggies getting into the paint. It is blocked. Hutton trying to keep Howard close. And Brooklyn Fort Davis is going to be called for steps.
He's got a little bit too quick right there. Probably had a shot, a little 15-foot shot, which he hit earlier.
It's the 5th turnover of the quarter for Howard. Anjanae Hutton, she is trying to do it herself, but she needs some help out there.
Absolutely. She has been just getting it done at both ends of the floor, but certainly, again, I think this is a team for Howard that is struggling because they're young, and they really need somebody to step up right now and just take control.
That shot off the mark, so Howard can try to cut into this 9-point lead as we're under 3 minutes here in this third quarter.
Yeah, Hutton's going to get a break for a moment, take a seat on the bench, and Marshall come in as a substitute. I think the key here for Howard right now is not to let this game get away from them. They have got to buckle down defensively, and then they need to figure out ways to score. It may not be off of a shot. Hit the offensive boards, get some second chance opportunities.
Well, if Howard's going to make their run, it's got to be now, because Jayla Jones-Pack just went to the bench to get a breather. Jada Smith comes in to take her place. And immediately, Howard goes into the paint.
Well, that's what I would do, too, is get inside into the paint. Now that you have Jones-Pack out of the game, who's been the enforcer in there. Good decision right there by Warren.
That's the 4th team foul on North Carolina A&T, and there is the 5th. No.
Yeah, they called it travel. They called it travel right there. I thought that was a physical play defensively by the Aggies on that out-of-bounds play. Might have gotten tripped here. Yeah,
I don't think that's a travel. That's got to be a foul on
it. It is a
Jasmine
foul.
Walton.
Yeah.
So back-to-back turnovers for Howard. North Carolina A&T trying to push this to a double-digit lead. 10 on the shot clock. Walton off the mark. Here comes Warren. And there's the foul on Channing Scott. That'll be the 5th team foul on the Aggies.
Going to the line. Deuce Warren. Coach calls her Deuce. She used to have 2 players on the team named Diana, and she needed a way to differentiate them, so Deuce Warren at the line.
It's been 3 minutes and 47 seconds since Howard last scored. And Warren puts an end to that drought.
Well, that's been the theme of the game for the second and third quarter for Howard. They have struggled to score the basketball, put it in the hoop against this tall, active defense for North Carolina A&T.
So the lead is back to 8, 44, back to 7, 44-37, North Carolina A&T. Here's the full court press by the Bison. Under 2 minutes to play here in this third quarter. And there's a good defensive effort by Jayla Thornton. The senior forces the turnover, and now Howard can cut into this lead.
And just not taking care of the basketball, no ball control on that last play, and great defense. I thought Howard really came out and switched that handoff or that screen very, very hard, much more aggressively than they have been.
High ball screen, Warren goes over, gets to the bucket, and one! The point guard jumps up and down with excitement because Howard desperately needed that to come back in this one.
We have seen Warren go right time after time in this game, but she's a lefty, and this is where she feels most comfortable as she slices in between those taller defensive players. She is the heart of this Bison team, and you are seeing that come out.
So glad she was able to come back off the bench after she went down with that hard fall. She scored the last 5 Howard points, and Howard has clawed back only down by 4 now. That's a potential steal, and Bison, do they come up with it? Yes! Turnover, 1:20 to play here in this third quarter. You can just feel the intensity just got ratcheted up another notch. Warren for 3. Count it! No one's going to stop her right now. Ayanna Warren is on a hot streak. I apologize, that was only a 2, so her foot was on the line. It's a 7-0 run by Howard. Warren's got 16 points now. We're under a minute to play here in Scope Arena, Norfolk, Virginia, and that's an illegal screen on Jada Smith. So Howard has a chance to tie or take the lead here with a 3.
Howard looking extremely confident out there offensively, and it's because Warren has come out. She's come back into the game, played aggressively, played assertively, has a different look in her eyes.
The 7-0 run Howard is on is currently just Ayanna Warren. Kick pass into the corner. That one rattles in for Brooklyn Fort Davis. That's a 2. We have a tie ball game. 20 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Ten seconds remaining. Shot clock is off for North Carolina A&T. High ball screen. Now going baseline with the jumper off the mark, and Howard finds a way to get back into this ball game. Woo! Andrea, we got a tie ball game heading into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, and they found a way, and that way's name was Deuce Warren. She was tremendous the last couple of minutes, getting her game back in, her team back into this.
I cannot wait. I hope you don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Replacement cost, your home can be rebuilt regardless of your limits.
That's really something.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to the MEAC Championship. We are in store for a good fourth quarter. John Schriffen alongside my partner, Andrea Lloyd. And Andrea, Howard came storming back in that third quarter after being down 9.
Yeah, and their captain, their sophomore point guard, really stepped up during that time. She had gone to the bench, had a little bit of an injury, got back into the game, and came out with the eye of the tiger, knocked down some shots, and found her open teammates. I thought Fort Davis did a nice job of knocking down this shot on the perimeter. She's had the hot hand from the corners. I really think that Warren is the key to this victory today. If you're Howard, she's somebody that has to have the ball in their hands, and she's somebody that has to control the tempo and make sure that her team has good offense here in the fourth quarter.
Well, North Carolina A&T head coach Terrell Robinson, he knew it coming into this game. He said, we got to get the ball out of her hands. How did the Aggies defend her in this fourth quarter?
I actually think that they defended her really well in the second quarter, and it really flustered Warren. And then what happened is she adjusted at the half and took a deep breath, and I thought she did a really nice job of adjusting herself. So I'm not sure that Coach Robinson really has done anything different. I think that Warren's actually adjusted.
It's been 20 years since Howard last went to the big dance. Coach told us about all the struggles, everything they've had to overcome this season, how much this win would mean to this team. Andrea, 1 quarter away from ending a 20-year drought for Howard.
Yeah, and it's 0-0 at this point. So 10 minutes to play your hearts out for a chance to play for a tournament title and also a chance to go to the big dance. That's a pretty exciting thing for 1 senior, 2 juniors, and 10 freshmen and young sophomores, a very young team. Let's see how they respond here in the fourth quarter.
And the Bison will start with the ball here in this fourth quarter. We are all tied at 44 apiece. Cutting into the lane is Marsh, but she is off the mark. And there's going to be a foul on Brooklyn Fort Davis on the rebound.
Howard will continue in that three-quarter court zone trap that they run. They've had some success with this. They've slowed down North Carolina A&T, not allowed them to get as many fast breaks, but also got a couple steals.
Nice kick-out pass from the interior. You can see Jayla Jones' pass. She is really fighting for that position. And that, as soon as she moved out of the paint, the space just opened up. That allowed Sean Kelly Darks to dart in there.
Yeah, I think right now, Sean Kelly Darks, a freshman, she has performed very well in this game, and we haven't talked about her very much. But the advantage North Carolina A&T has is they have senior leadership out there. They have 3 fifth-year seniors playing in the lineup. You just continue to see Warren go in there.
Every time she goes down hard, if you're a Howard fan, you got to hold your breath because they need her on the floor. And that's going to be a foul on Jayla Jones-Pack. For her, that's her second.
She doesn't even blink an eye. And, we talked to Ty Grace about Ayanna Warren, and she's like, she is not 5'3". She's maybe 5 feet tall. So when you look at a 5 foot tall sophomore player that is unafraid to go inside against 6'2", 6'3" players that have really dominated the paint here defensively, that's admirable.
How do you teach that? Is that something you just have, or can you teach that to someone?
I think Warren, if I recall, comes from a background of she's worked very hard at her game, and it's just years of practice and having confidence in yourself. I think having a body that she's stout enough to go inside, and it's just a mentality. This is a stubborn young lady, a smart young lady. Warren is a captain because she is such a leader out there on the floor. 4-point student.
So a 30-second timeout call by Terrell Robinson. Did not like what he was seeing out of his squad in that half-court set. We'll take a quick break. Nope, I apologize. We are going to stay here. And Andrea, let's talk through this break inside the huddle for North Carolina A&T. Head coach Robinson told us his team, their identity is running and defense. They do not do well in this half-court set. How do they now try to turn that around and put together a good offensive possession now that Howard has dug in defensively?
Well, it's interesting to watch Terrell Robinson in the timeout right now, because at the beginning of this timeout, he was very, very quiet, talking to them very calmly. And I think he's trying to appeal to their senses of, you got to be smarter out there with the basketball. You got to recognize what's going on. He's not having to have them play harder, I don't think, just play smarter. And it's tough if you haven't played and you're not really great at quarter court offense to kind of pull that out of your pocket right now. But that's probably what he's asking his team to do, execute in the quarter court.
So whether you drive your own car, ride a bike, or use one from Hampton Roads train.
He has Jasmine Walton in there. Yeah, I was just going to say he has Jasmine Walton in there it's important for her to be a really good decision maker. And obviously Jones-Pack has been just tremendous on the interior, but hasn't seen the ball yet here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, if I'm in that huddle, I've got a player like Jones-Pack, who Howard has not had an answer for all game long. I am drawing up every single look to at least get her a touch on the possessions coming down the stretch.
Certainly, and you have to understand that Howard's going to continue to come out and switch hard on those screens, the handoffs. That's what they do. They're versatile. They have players that can play in every position defensively. So you have to be prepared for that and wait until something opens up on the interior for Jones-Pack.
We have 1 quarter of basketball to decide who will get the automatic bid to the big dance. The MEAC
Come on, it's March.
On the line. I mean, this is what we have waited the entire season for.
Absolutely. And guess what? Today and tomorrow, the last 2 days of tournament championships. 16 teams have already punched their card on the women's side. The rest of them will do it this weekend, and Selection Monday comes up on Monday for the women. One of these 2 teams will see their name on that board.
This is certainly the best time of year. I mean, this is what you play for. Out of that timeout, and it blocked. Corner 3 attempt is blocked by Chrislyn Marsh, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Great job defensively by Howard.
Yeah, a really nice job by Howard of just putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers. Poor recognition, really, for North Carolina A&T. You have to believe that Terrell Robinson is not happy after taking a timeout that his team didn't recognize where the shot clock was.
15th turnover. That leads to a bucket on the other end by Warren. And she is just starting to take over this game. For Warren, she's got 18 points. That leads all scorers.
And active defensively. Look at that play right there. Playing hard at both ends.
And she almost came up with the steal, and then really Sean Kelly Darks is forced to foul her to prevent an easy layup.
That trap that Howard runs, they really try to keep you on the sideline. And if you're trying to pass over somebody, look at what a great job right there Warren does of forcing the ball back to the sideline. And Sean Kelly Darks, another freshman, just struggling with ball control there.
You know, it's amazing. Anjanae Hutton is not on the floor, but when she's on the bench, it seems like Warren takes over. And then when Hutton comes back in, they kind of switch roles. Driving layup, no good. Offensive rebound. Brooklyn Fort Davis. Howard with a 3-point lead. Howard in the midst of a 14-2 run. And Warren, just the sophomore, but she's going to slow things down.
Well, turning it up defensively right now for Howard. A couple of block shots they've had in the last few possessions. That'll be an illegal screen
called against Marsh. That's going to give the ball right back to North Carolina A&T.
And these are the mistakes that are really critical and can really hurt you in a game like this. You need to be clean, set clean screens, let your player get through them. You do not want offensive fouls that are a turnover and a foul.
You know, I got a quick glimpse of it, but it looked like Anjanae Hutton was on the bench and the medical team was attending to her. I'd love in a break if we could get another shot of that, because she is not on the floor for Howard. Going to the basket hard. North Carolina A&T, no call. Howard with a 3-point lead as we approach 7 minutes to play here in this fourth quarter.
Look at Fort Davis. Fort Davis gets the rebound at one end of the floor, sprints back to the other end of the floor, and gets her hands on the ball again.
So the foul is on Jones-Pack. That'll be her third. And Brooklyn Fort Davis will head to the line for 2. I mean, it has been amazing. Howard won the first quarter. North Carolina A&T won the second. They won the third, and now Howard is coming back here in this fourth quarter. This has been quite a ball game.
It's important right now for North Carolina A&T to take advantage of the times that they can get some easy looks when they break the pressure. But they've got to break the pressure first of that three-quarter court trap. Not doing a good job of that the last 3 minutes.
Ayanna Warren on the bench for Howard. A lot of contact, but no call. They're going to say that's off of Jones' pack. So Howard has the ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Here she is, Anjanae Hutton. We've been missing her. I mean, she has just been the spark plug for this offense. When it hasn't been Warren, it's been Hutton for Howard. Off the inbounds play, 3 no good by Thornton. Gets the rebound. Hutton to the bucket. She gets her own rebound. Howard just wants it more right now. To the basket, no call. And Jones' pack clears things.
Howard playing extremely hard right now. Just look like they want it more, but couldn't get that basket to fall right there. So we see the 3 by Thornton, who's been a little bit cold here in the second half. Hutton, who's capable of making that shot. And look at her pursue the basketball.
But that's also just no boxing out. You know, each shooter for Howard got her own rebound on that possession.
This is all about attention to details here in the fourth quarter. Which team can pay more attention to details?
3 ball on the way is good by Kennedy Boyd. And it is a 1-point lead for Howard. 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. That just ended a 15-2 run by the Bison.
And you got to know your scout at this point. Even though Boyd hasn't played extended minutes, she's a 3-point threat. You've got to get a hand in her face.
Oh, man down. 3 ball in the corner. And Hutton, you know where she's going to be. Around the ball, around the rim. And she's going to the line for 2.
Yeah, she has been around the rim and around the ball, as you said, all day long. Even was bringing the ball up at one point when Howard was struggling with that pressure. She is a gritty young lady.
That was a big foul. That is the 4th foul on Jayla Jones' pack. So she is going to go to the bench with 4. 56% free throw shooter is Hutton as she misses the first.
And that's going to be critical right now. And it's going to be important that both of these teams have shooters at the line that can make free throws. And Hutton isn't one of those that shoots well. She almost shoots as well from the free throw line as she does field goal percentage, 56% from the line.
She misses both. Howard, 9 of 15 from the line, shooting 60% from the free throw stripe today. So the lead remains at 1.
Hard hedge.
Walton misses the layup. And there's Hutton again, getting that rebound. Spin move, that one is blocked. It's going to stay here with Howard. Great defensive play by Shannon Scott.
I like that play, though. I know somebody on the sideline was saying, pull it back, pull it back. Fort Davis, I think, has done a nice job of being aggressive here. Had an opportunity to go one-on-one, just had her shot blocked, but you can't fault her for being aggressive.
Howard has missed her last 7 shots. Back into the ballgame. Here's Ayanna Warren. Crossover dribble, but got her pocket picked. Look at the defense. Possession arrow goes to North Carolina A&T. Ooh, we got a good one down the stretch. 1-point ball game, under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Winner gets the MEAC title and the bid to the big dance.
Together, we can put hope on the table.
Welcome back to Scope Arena. John Schriffen alongside Andrea Lloyd. And Andrea, this is shaping up to be a good one. And Jayla Thornton, Shannon Scott, both are coming through for their respective teams.
Yeah, and Jayla Thornton, Player of the Year in the MEAC this season. You can see her season numbers right there, 14 points a game, 14.1. We're going to be splitting hairs here. And Shannon Scott, who didn't make MEAC Player of the Year. A lot of the folks from North Carolina A&T feel like she should have been. So a little bit of extra motivation maybe today. You see their numbers on the day. Double-double for Shannon Scott. I've been impressed with her grittiness, and for Thornton, she's hit some critical threes. It would be really interesting. It'll be interesting to see if she can be an offensive threat here late in these last 5 minutes.
The Aggies, their big center, Jones-Pack, still on the bench. She has 4 fouls. Corner 3, no good. Offensive rebound to the Aggies. Another 3 on the way, and Hutton cleans things up. .15 on the shot clock. That shot, a late whistle, but that was the correct call. A ton of contact as Warren let that one go. She'll go to the line for 2. Foul on Jasmine Walton.
Howard came out of that timeout, looked very comfortable in their offense after getting the rebound and coming down in their set. Again, this young lady has been tremendous today. Distributing the ball, free throw shooting, getting to the rim.
That's the 15th foul on A&T, so Howard in the bonus the rest of the way. Missed the second free throw. So Warren has 19 points, and Howard with a 2-point lead with 4:23 to play. Sean Kelly Darks checks back into the game. And a tight ball game throughout. Largest lead for either team. Howard had a 9-point lead early on. North Carolina came storming back. They had their largest lead was 9. And here we are, a 2-point ball game, under 4 minutes to play. Aggies are stuck. That was a bad offensive possession. Howard comes away with it.
Just waited too long in the shot clock to make a move towards the basket. Nice defense by Howard.
Aggies have 1 of their last 8 from the floor. Warren going a little too fast there. That one out of bounds, but was it tipped? They're going to say yes, so it'll stay here with Howard.
Back in the game, Thornton, the 3-point specialist. Harris giving her a little bit of a breather for a few moments. Takes a seat.
Also coming back in, Jayla Jones-Pack, the big center for North Carolina A&T. She's got 4 fouls. She's guarding Hutton. Hutton goes right at her. And what a smart play by Hutton. She recognized that Jones-Pack has 4 fouls and can't do anything about it. Howard up 53-49. And I have just loved the way Anjanae Hutton has played today.
You like both of the bigs. I have enjoyed listening to you talk about Jones-Pack and Hutton. They have both had tremendous games. It's been interesting to watch them match up on the interior together.
Jones-Pack setting the screen. There's the roll. And how about Warren coming over with the help defense, poking her head in there. But the ball is going to stay here with North Carolina A&T.
It's just good team defense all around. A little bit of pressure on the ball. You force that lob pass. Hutton did a nice job of making it tough to catch. And look at Warren, always in the middle of things.
So it looks like the referees are going to go to the monitor. Not sure what they're looking at here, because it was clear that Warren ripped that ball away, but maybe they're trying to see if she was fouled going out of bounds.
Yeah, at this point, they can't look at a judgment call, so there's nothing regarding a foul that's being looked at right now. They can look at time, score. Later in the game, they can look at who was the ball off of to make sure they have the call right. Might have just been a timeout. That's the hard part of calling remotely.
Right, not really sure what exactly they were looking at, but ball stays with North Carolina A&T. Down by 4. We're under 3 minutes to play to crown a champion here in the MEAC. In low. Jones-Pack throwing the shoulder around, and she's got another bucket. She's got 16 on the day.
That is just tough to guard when you're running Winters and Jones Pack off of screens like that. You got to pick your poison.
Wild shot, but Hutton in there for the rebound, and it's Hutton once again giving Howard a 4-point lead. Travel violation. Howard is in the midst of a 21-7 run. An impressive comeback over the last 10 minutes after being down by 9.
They just haven't been able to make their defense as effective or fluster Howard as much as they did in that second and early in the third quarter. Howard has settled down offensively, looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, because now we can see they're actually running the clock. Early on, they were taking really quick shots, but they are running the clock. Oh, Warren slips down. She loses the ball. Here come the Aggies. They've got numbers. Breakout, and it blocked, but a foul on Fort Davis. That's going to send Shannon Scott to the line for 2.
And I think that foul might have been on Hutton, blocking the shot right there. Tremendous job of getting back in transition defense. You see, it looked like the floor was slippery right here. Warren isn't able to stay on her feet. Hutton, who's been back defensively all day long, is like, no, I had all ball.
See them in the background cleaning up the floor, making sure it's nice and dry as we play the remaining under 2 minutes here.
These free throws critical for North Carolina A&T. I think getting a couple of easy buckets would be a relief for Terrell Robinson's team right now. So can they make their defense impactful?
Scott, a 78% free throw shooter. One more remaining at the line. So the lead is back to 2. 55-53, 1:55 to play here in the fourth. How about Hutton breaking the press herself?
And a timeout. Ty Gray, seeing that her team was in trouble, gets a quick one.
So a timeout by head coach Ty Grace here in her 6th season. She said this win would be huge for the university. Everything we've gone through this season, a 20-year drought since we last got back to the tournament. And Andrea, Howard is so close, under 2 minutes, up by 2.
Yeah, it's just so important that they make good decisions and manage the clock really, really well. Understand time and score and what the situation is. I think using that timeout is really good by Ty Grace. Her team was in trouble. They can have a chance now to take it out of bounds, get a good set offensively. Hopefully that's what you're looking for. And then just be aware of timeouts, time and score.
Important to note, North Carolina A&T does not have a foul to give. So on any foul, we'll send Howard to the line for 2 shots. Tie up.
Howard ball.
And possession hour will stay here with the Bison. So Ayanna Warren will inbound with 13 seconds on the shot clock. It's been the Hutton and Warren show. They're playing a little 2-man game here. Hutton to the bucket and one. No.
They called a travel.
Wow, they called a travel. Hutton, I can't believe it either.
Yeah, I thought it was an exceptional move. Watch the pivot foot here. What foot is down as a pivot foot? Oh, yep, it is a travel. Good call by the officials.
Nice call. I stand corrected.
Yeah, we both do.
So back-to-back turnovers by Howard, and then there's a foul by Warren. That is her 3rd, and that's the 5th team foul.
And it's just not something you want to see right now. You're going to put the other team at the line where they've been struggling to score in quarter court. A little bit of a sophomore young mistake right there.
Thornton comes back into the game for Harris. First shot, no good by Sean Kelly Darks. The freshman is a 71% free throw shooter. And she missed them both. Hutton amongst the trees. She comes out with her pink hair waving, but no! North Carolina A&T with a steal and a bucket and the foul. No. Refs are faking me out. That's a travel. I apologize. It is hard to tell at home, not in the arena. But that was a travel, a turnover on North Carolina A&T. Howard has the ball up by 2.
Your vision is just so limited as you see the play right here. And it is a good call. It is a travel. A lot going on in that play. A couple of turnovers. Both of these teams playing extremely hard.
So Walton picked up her 3rd foul as Warren goes to the line and knocks down the first for a 3-point lead for Howard.
Warren has been money at the free throw line today.
Four-point ball game, 1:13 to play here in the 4th. Aggies tied up, and possession arrow will stay here with the Aggies.
The offense just a bit in disarray for the Aggies right now. We've talked about the fact that quarter court offense isn't their forte necessarily, and it's something they're going to really have to figure out. I think Terrell Robinson will take a timeout here and figure out a way to get a good look at the basket or to the basket. We specifically talked to him about this situation yesterday, and you know, when it comes down to the line right here, he looks to his seniors. Who are my leaders out there on the floor? They're going to have the ball in their hands. I'm looking for Winters for a 3. I'm looking for somebody to get to the basket like Shannon Scott, and then we need to crash the boards.
Well, how about Jayla Jones-Pack? She's only missed 1 shot today. She's 8 of 9 from the floor. She's got 16 points. Now, she does have 4 fouls, but she's been a presence inside.
Yeah, and just keep your eye on the shot clock here as well. 16 seconds on the shot clock.
1 minute remaining here at Scope Arena. MEAC Championship on the line. Howard with a 4-point lead. 3 ball on the way. Bottoms. The Aggies down by 1. Harris tries to get across the timeline. She does for Howard. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. 17 on the shot clock.
The Aggies can defend without fouling right here. They have time. They're going to put a lot of pressure on this offense for Howard.
Warren, you know she wants to keep this in her hands. 3 on the shot clock. She's got to get it up. And she steps out of bounds. What a defensive trap by the tall trees from North Carolina A&T. And with 21 seconds, Andrea, the Aggies down by 1. They can get the last shot here.
Yeah, and a timeout. I'm guessing the timeout is by North Carolina A&T. I didn't see who called the timeout. If they did, they can advance the basketball, get a better look at the basket, get it in the front court.
So this will be a full timeout called by North Carolina A&T. Head coach Terrell Robinson will talk it over. We can all catch our breath. We will come back. 21 seconds on the clock to determine a champion here in the MEAC.
You remember the first time we got together?
Good seat, Sam. I used my Capital One Quicksilver card and earned 1.5% cash back.
Come on, Ref!
You knew about the Quicksilver card back then?
It's called being a visionary, Chuck. Sam, you've always been ahead of the game.
Movie night.
Should have been watching the stove instead.
Tell me something I don't know.
With your Farmer's Policy Perk guaranteed replacement cost, your home can be rebuilt regardless of your limits.
That's really something.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmer's Policy Perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back, John Schriffen alongside Andrea Lloyd. 21 seconds remaining. North Carolina A&T down by 1. Andrea, who are you going to here?
Oh, well, I think you have to go for a play between Jones-Pack and Winters, but it was the defense on this last play here that made something happen late in the shot clock. I thought Howard might have been able to use a timeout there just to give themselves a better look after the timeout, but they chose not to.
Deflection. They try to get inside of Jones-Pack. Howard gets the steal, and Warren will be fouled going to the line for 2.
The last 2 times down the floor when they've needed a basket, their first look has been to Jones-Pack. The first time she was covered up and they couldn't get a pass to her, and then they got that Hail Mary off by Winters, who knocked down that 3. And then this time they looked on the interior to get the ball to her. Pretty good pressure defense right there, as you see Harris with active hands. And who else is around there but Miss Hutton?
Unbelievable performance. Warren on the day is 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Cannot make the first.
And North Carolina A&T with no timeouts left, so they're going to have to get the ball out of bounds or off the rim to come down the other way.
And she missed them both. Here we go. 7 seconds for the championship. North Carolina A&T with a 3 in the corner. Got it! It's good! It's good! The Aggies up by 2. Wow!
For a team that has struggled to score in the quarter court offense, this bucket was huge.
Deja Winters with the shot of the season in front of her own bench knocks down a 3 after Warren on the other end missed 2 free throws. Gives North Carolina A&T a 2-point lead here with 3 seconds remaining.
Well, and for Winters, that was the second 3 as she hit one the possession before. She just has been clutch, 4 for 9 from 3 today. She has 15 points. So right now, 3 seconds left on the game clock. 3 timeouts for Howard. And 2 points down. Here you see what Winters did yesterday in the semifinals. She was spectacular from downtown. Had a lot of open looks. She hasn't had open looks tonight. She's only had a couple, and the couple that she's made have been mostly contested and none bigger on the season than the last 2.
Here we go. 3 seconds remaining. Howard with a chance. Ball is batted around. Shot at the buzzer. Off the back iron. North Carolina A&T comes from behind and wins the MEAC championship. The Aggies are going dancing. What a phenomenal basketball game, and you've got to feel for Ayanna Warren, who missed those last 2 free throws. She had a spectacular ball game, 21 points, but that left the door open as North Carolina A&T will celebrate as the confetti comes down.
For Howard, you know, this is a young team. We talked about they have 10 freshmen and sophomores out there on the floor. We saw Warren and Hutton just give tremendous effort today. They're going to have another chance at this, but how about the Aggies and their senior leaders? Deja Winters, dazzling.
Whew. I mean, we knew it was going to be a good one, but that was spectacular. Deja Winters with the shot of the season. North Carolina A&T went on a 6-0 run to close out that game. That 3 in front of her bench, that was the game winner. You know, you've got to feel bad for Howard because they played such an amazing ball game, and to lose it like that, that is a tough pill to swallow. But an incredible game by North Carolina A&T, especially I love the play inside of Jayla Jones' pack. I mean, she was hampered there at the end with the fouls, but she had 16 points. That was a big moment for North Carolina A&T, getting that production out of the paint.
Yeah, the production in the paint, the effectiveness and efficiency in the paint was tremendous by Jones Pack, and it was all Winters the last minute of this game, and her three-point shots sealed the deal.
That'll do it from Scope Arena here in Norfolk, Virginia. For Andrea Lloyd, our incredible ESPN crew, I'm John Schripp, and your final, North Carolina A&T 59, Howard 57, and the Aggies won the MEAC. They are going to the big dance.
We made USAA insurance for renters who make the most of their space and money. That's why we make it easy to cover the stuff you love for as little as 33 cents a day. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
Real G's moving silence like sourdough. So if you didn't know, the Sourdough King is back at Burger King with flame grilled beef, sizzling bacon, and ooey gooey cheese stuffed between 2 toasted sourdough buns. The Sourdough King and Sourdough Breakfast King. Your way, way better.